Update. My girlfriend 30 female overheard my 35 male family talking badly about her. Original story. My girlfriend Sammy and I have been together a bit over a year. She's absolutely wonderful. Smart, attractive, driven, educated, kind, and goofy. She's everything I've ever wanted. And up until last week, I thought my family felt the same way. Last week, I went to my parents' house for dinner. We get together as a family a few times a month, as it's been a tradition with us for years now. Sammy usually joins us for these dinners, but I had work obligations, so I told my family she wouldn't be joining us that night. Halfway through dinner, I got up to go to the bathroom, and Sammy texted me that she was outside. She got off work early and came over to hang out. She would have normally walked in, which is normal, but she needed help bringing in some gifts. Sammy's leaving tomorrow for a work trip and a personal vacation to see some friends, so she won't be back until Thanksgiving. My brother and sister twins have their birthday next week, and my girlfriend had gifts for them. At this point, my family had no idea Sammy was there. We walked inside and headed to the kitchen, and we overheard my family talking. My sister was saying that she was glad my girlfriend was gone, because she couldn't stand a family night being ruined by my girlfriend being annoying. My brother and other sister agreed about how annoying and awful my girlfriend is. My dad made a comment about how they should be nice to Sammy. Then my mom chimed in with, "Sammy's nice and all, but I can't believe Opie likes how fat she is. He can do so much better." My family, even my dad, agreed. And my sister piped up that I was dating down because I'm still rebounding from my last girlfriend, which was 5 years ago. I was floored. My family has always been so nice to Sammy, and I've never heard them talk badly about her. I've never heard my family say mean things about anyone, to be honest. Sammy walked into the kitchen and dumped the presents on the counter. She was crying and mumbled something about happy birthday, and then took off out the door. My family looked shocked and a bit embarrassed. I asked my family what the hell was wrong with them. I didn't stick around for an answer. I went after Sammy. She was in her car, crying. Now, Sammy's usually tough, but family's super important to her. She has no family aside from an alcoholic dad that she doesn't have any contact with. My family was like surrogate family and something she always wanted. She was overjoyed when my family welcomed her and invited her to family events. The presents she brought my sister and brother were paintings she had spent many hours working on. And yes, she is fat. But I prefer thick girls. Always have. To me, she's gorgeous and exactly what I like. But even then, she's lost about 40 pounds since we started dating. I would love her at any weight, and I'm proud of the work she's done. I have no idea what they mean about her being annoying. She comes when she's invited, usually brings baked goods or beer. She's taken my family out to dinner multiple times and is extremely generous with them. She's even become the go-to babysitter for my sister and her 2 kids, and she helped my brother get a job in her company. She pushed really hard to get him hired and put her professional reputation on the line. She's never asked for a payment or holds it over anyone. She even does the dishes when we come over for dinner. The thing that makes this even worse is I was planning on proposing to her in the next few months, but I had planned on asking my sisters to come with me to pick out her ring. Now, Sammy hasn't said much about it and hasn't talked to me much about this incident. She has always wanted a family and she doesn't understand why my family doesn't like her or what she's done wrong. She said she'd talk to me more when she gets back from her trip. I don't want to lose her over this, and I would take her over my family. Sammy hasn't been in her usual cheerful self this week, and I've got her crying more than once since this incident. I try to comfort her, but she tries to play it like she's fine. At this point, I have no idea if I even want them in my life. All of them have reached out to me with weak apologies full of justifications. I asked my mom if she had apologized to Sammy, and my mom said I could pass on the apology. To be fair to them, all of them do feel bad about what happened and seemed extra embarrassed about this. But no one can give me exact reasons why she's annoying or how she's ruined family nights. My dad is the only reasonable one that has offered to apologize to Sammy directly. What do? I don't want to get rid of my family, but Sammy matters more to me at this point. I want Sammy to know I'm fully in her corner and I don't want her to feel guilty if I have to cut out my family. Now for the top advice before reading the update. To be fair to them, all of them do feel bad about what happened and seemed extra embarrassed about this. My mom said I could pass on the apology. What? Yeah, no. These are adults. They can't apologize or not, but no one should be passing along apologies. Your girlfriend sounds like an awesome girl. If I were her, I wouldn't feel comfortable being around those people. If I were you and that was my family trashing my husband, I'd tell them to buzz right off. I had a conversation with my sister that ended in buzz off. They need to apologize directly. I would drop them until they do that. passing on an apology from your family is adding insult to injury for your girlfriend. They don't feel bad about what they said. They feel bad because they were caught saying it. They are not in a hurry to make amends by the sounds of it. Remember, you pick your friends and girlfriends, but you can't pick your family. For that reason, families sometimes think they can get a free pass to treat you and your friends badly because they're family. BS. Families have to earn and hold your respect the same way anyone else does. And if they fail, feel no guilt in stopping having anything to do with them. Your girlfriend sounds like a keeper, your family doesn't. I think you've nailed what I'm really upset about. They don't respect me, my relationship, or Sammy. And I've lost that respect I've had for them. An apology isn't going to rebuild that respect, but it would be a start. It sounded like your dad didn't 100% agree with the conversation. He defended her before you walked in, and that's why he will genuinely apologize. The rest of your family's only embarrassed. They hadn't planned on saying those things to your face. If you tell them you plan on proposing and aren't sure if they'll stay in your lives, you'll likely hear more convincing apologies. But from what you've shared, I doubt they'll actually be sincere. You're right about my dad. He seems pretty upset about everything and offered up a genuine apology. I think I'll get him and Sammy together for an apology, and he might be the only one that I interact with in the future. I haven't told them about the proposal yet. They won't be hearing about it anytime soon. Edit. I went to bed and woke up to tons of replies. Thanks for all the advice and support, everyone. I have decided to take Sammy on a vacation for Thanksgiving. I'm on the phone with a very helpful guy that's trying to find me a hotel room that isn't booked for that weekend. No matter what happens, I think this is going to be a tradition I build with her for the future. A relaxing weekend to ourselves, while everyone else is running around buying knockoff iPads. Also, I talked to my dad briefly last night. He's pretty horrified by everything and has agreed to come over and apologize to Sammy, and do it when Sammy feels up to hearing it. I've told Sammy all of this since it happened. She knows I'm choosing her over my family and that I would choose her over anyone. And now for the update. A few people have messaged me for an update, so I thought I would post. First, thank you for all the kind words and great ideas. It really helped me get some perspective on the situation. First off, Sammy and I had a wonderful Thanksgiving. We spent it out of town in a small skiing town. It was a great weekend, and we spent a lot of time talking and discussing what to do about my family. Sammy was still pretty hurt over the matter, but was adamant that I shouldn't cut all ties with my family, so I told her that all depended on my family. My mom was in denial that I wouldn't be coming to Thanksgiving. After my last post, I let her know Sammy and I wouldn't be attending. She brushed it off until the day before Thanksgiving when she called to make sure I was bringing pie. I reminded her that I wouldn't be at dinner, and she broke down crying. She told me she was sorry for hurting Sammy and would like the chance to apologize. I let her know she'd have a chance after Thanksgiving. After we got back from our Thanksgiving trip, my parents came over for dinner. I had okayed this with Sammy, and she thought my parents deserved a chance to make this right. And frankly, I think she really wanted to mend things with my family. Dinner was awkward, to say the least. My dad started out by offering Sammy a genuine apology. He told her he was extremely embarrassed and genuinely wanted to make things up to her. They had a nice chat. The talk with my mom, well, that went okay. My mom cried through most of it and tried to reinforce that she was very sorry. I couldn't tell if she was sorry or just upset that I was taking Sammy's side. I don't think Sammy was convinced either. Then a few days after dinner, my mom called Sammy and asked her to lunch to talk by themselves. Several comments in my last post mentioned that my family probably felt Sammy was annoying, simply because they felt intimidated or projecting their own issues on her. I think that was spot on. Sammy went to lunch with my mom. They had a very long, good talk about everything. She said my mom felt jealous that Sammy was so educated and had a chance to get an education. And Sammy admitted to being jealous that my mom has a big family. Sammy opened up to my mom about the situation with her own family and living on her own since she was a teenager. I think that hit my mom very hard because she's always been surrounded by a big, loving family. And I think she was horrified by her own behavior towards Sammy, who wanted to be a part of the family. Overall, I think things are better between my parents and Sammy. My younger sister reached out to Sammy after Thanksgiving. I don't think any of my siblings expected me to ditch family dinner, and I heard they were pretty upset I went on vacation instead. My sister apologized over the phone. I don't know if it was enough, but it was a good step. Sammy says she's feeling pretty neutral about my youngest sister. She said she feels like my sister is more sorry she was caught, but Sammy appreciated apology. My brother had to endure a very uncomfortable few weeks at work while Sammy was traveling. I think by Thanksgiving, he was confident that Sammy wasn't going to screw with his job. When Sammy got back to work after our vacation, he went to her office to apologize. Again, I think he apologized just to appease us. But he did it in person and didn't try to cop out. Like my sister, Sammy feels neutral about him. My other sister, my brother's twin, is the only holdout. She hasn't given Sammy an apology and seems pissed that she no longer has a built-in free babysitter. She's doubled down and said she has nothing to apologize for, and Sammy's the one causing troubles. This has caused a bit of a rift in my family. My parents would like Sammy and I to come to Christmas dinner, but I'm not interested in being around my sister right now, and I'm not going to subject Sammy to that. My parents have even suggested that my sister should stay home to make us more comfortable in coming. While I appreciate the sentiment, I would feel guilty about my sister being alone on Christmas. Her kids will be with her dad. Sammy and I have plenty of offers from friends, while my sister would probably not be able to find a place to go on short notice. Sammy's told my parents she would rather not create a bigger rift and will come over at another time. Sammy told me, privately, that while she has forgiven my family, she's not all that comfortable hanging out with my family just yet. I'm perfectly okay with this. I feel like taking some time from my family will be a good thing. Sammy and I are still deciding where to go on Christmas, probably to my best friend's house. The best part of the update, my best friend's wife went ring shopping with me. She let me go to all the chain stores and balked at the prices for the same ring in every store. She eventually took me to a local jeweler and we discussed a custom ring. The jeweler completely understood what I wanted, and I decided she would be great at designing a ring. She's pretty backed up with orders and said she'd be able to get to it in January. A few nights ago, she texted me a picture of a stone she had found to see if it fit what I had in mind. Sammy saw the text, and it led to an impromptu proposal. She said yes. So now I have a fiancé. We haven't really told anyone yet. I'll tell my family at some point, but for now, I'm enjoying sharing this time with her. So things are okay. Better than I hoped since my last post. I'm very sad about my sister because I miss her and her kids, and I miss my family, but I feel good about my decisions. I feel like things will get better with my family, except my sister, in time. Sammy liked the idea of a destination wedding next summer, but we haven't even started any planning yet. Sammy told me after everything that's happened with my family, she feels confident that I have her back and that she finally has me as her true family. Very nice, congrats. Though I'm appalled that the one who should have been her supporter is the one holdout. Your sister trusts her to babysit but talks trash on her and won't apologize? Messed up. I honestly think my sister's pride is getting in the way. She's not one to back down or submit, especially when she's wrong. I hope she'll pull her head out of her behind at some point. I don't know what kind of relationship you have with your sister, but shakeups like this can be the best time to switch gears. Have you spoken to her directly and privately? I would reach out, preferably in person, and lay it all on the line. Find out her reasoning why she said what she has, then call BS. Counter with a nice thing Sammy has done for her sister by her own choice. Add a conversation by telling your sister that she's acting like an ugly person, and you don't want her to be a part of your life until she corrects her mistakes. This leaves her an out. Say that Sammy's owed an apology and her entitlement needs to end. She's lucky that Sammy ever babysit, and she'll never find someone that cares as much. I don't know, I'm feeling feisty right now. I read that you're skipping Christmas with family because you feel bad for sister. If you don't confront her, do not skip future family events. Let the family's choice of attendance do your talking for you. Keep a hard boundary though. Neither you nor Sammy should attend nuclear family events with a sister until the issue is resolved. Don't let time sweep it under the rug. That's a very good idea. And I think I would partly enjoy calling her on all her crap. I hope my dad talks some sense into her because he has expressed how disappointed he is with her behavior. She's a daddy's girl and his disappointment carries a lot of weight. If not, I'll talk to her and not tiptoe around her pride. Now for the last story. My 26 female sister, 30 female, wants me to give her the baby I'm carrying. My husband died a month ago. Before that, we actively tried for a baby for the past 2 years. He had low count, and it was extremely difficult for us since we had to keep trying the old way, because we couldn't fund the IVF process. It didn't make sense to us to go through that, and then being bankrupt when the baby came. 2 weeks after his passing, I found out that I was pregnant. It was so bittersweet. I love my husband with all my heart, and having his child as a dream came true. But I can't keep this baby alone. I have to leave the house by the end of the year, move back with my parents, and basically start over. I'm not economically, mentally, or emotionally stable to have this baby by myself. and it's so unfair to bring it into a chaotic environment just for my selfish wishes. So I decided to terminate. I felt so alone that I wanted to see my sister and talk about her. I know that my parents will never allow or forgive me for doing this, and I thought that I had a safe place in her. I came undone and told her how I was feeling, how I couldn't keep this baby, and how much that broke my heart because it was the last piece of my husband. Instead of supporting me, she has this bright idea. I can give birth and let her and her husband adopt it. Like mine, her husband has low count and they've tried to get pregnant for over 8 years. I said that I wasn't sure, and she told me that if I did it, I could keep seeing him, and some part of my husband will remain in this world. I was about to agree, when she saw me doubting and said that if I refused, she's gonna tell my parents about it. It was the threat that infuriated me, so I left. I don't have that many friends and I don't know what to do. I don't want to lose my baby, that's true. But at the same time, I'm not sure I can find a proper life for them. I feel like everything is falling onto my shoulders and I don't know who to trust. Now for the advice. I've actually known several women who have lost their partner while pregnant. Almost all of them felt like you. I no longer wanted to be pregnant. If you have time, give yourself some breathing room. You are grieving and everything seems like a mountain to climb. Seek some counseling if you can. Best of luck. Whoa, that's insane. Instantly makes me think, do not give this woman a child to mess up. Seriously, do what you gotta do, but remove giving the baby to her as an option. And maybe don't trust your sister again. Just be careful that your sister doesn't tell your parents first, and manipulate them into pushing you to give your child to her. Even if she doesn't disclose it first, she'll try this afterwards as that is her agenda. Take care.